Mike told y'all. Mad Mike told you time and time again.
I told y'all. Mad Mike told you. Well, we didn't tell you anything today, but I'm about to tell you something right now. So, this is some interesting news out of the NFL. Just want to go over one thing that I thought was interesting. I think everybody should know about this. If you don't know, well, now you know. Get a heads up on this weekend, because if you went out and, excuse me, but if you are, obviously it's Friday, Halloween, I know got the kiddos and all that type of stuff, getting them ready, probably having a party of your own, and get some things on, and then Saturday, Sunday come, and you probably want to chill out and relax, only to find out that you can't watch games. Well, according to a number of sources out there, YouTube and Disney failed to reach a new carriage deal, meaning all Disney owned program is now off of YouTube TV. That includes ABC, ESPN, and other Disney channels. Plus, any recordings from those networks in your library are no longer accessible. All right. So ESPN and YouTube failed to reach a deal that'll allow people on the network in itself uh, who are using YouTube TV. Okay, this only affects YouTube TV, but they have not reached a deal, and quite frankly, Keyshawn, what's going on? Pete, what's going on? B Pete, what's going on? This deal only affects those that have YouTube TV. Thank goodness I don't have it. But it is interesting. Um, hmm, that it comes up right now. John, what's going on? So if you have YouTube TV, you will not be able to watch any of the games that's going to be on ESPN, whether college football, but like right now, ABC, ESPN, anything that has anything to do with Disney and company. Personally, I think this has everything to do with the fact that those guys are not reaching. Um, I mean, one, I don't think they care about the climate of today's economics to begin with. You got people who are struggling, who may not be able to get certain um benefits this month, this coming month of November. We got the government shutdown and all that. I don't think ESPN and all these guys give it. They don't give a damn. And now it's pouring over to sports. These people are doing these types of things and not coming with deals. And then, um, like I said, ESPN, YouTube, you would not be able to see it if you have YouTube TV. So thanks to the NFL, Disney, YouTube, for not coming to understand. And I'm like I said, this is just my personal opinion. I think this has everything with ESPN. They know damn well that they're not getting the numbers that they expected with the WWE merger and whatnot. So I personally believe that they are trying to um, throw some things out there that may not. But like I said, we'll see what happens. But so far, YouTube is stating that if you have YouTube TV, you'll be able to get a $20 credit for whatever that's worth. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to take. If it's going to boil over, don't know about that. But like I said, that is the deal out there. Also, the Dolphins, and which is why I want to talk about this. You got the Dolphins senior personnel executive Champ Kelly. He now heads the Dolphins' decisions leading up to the trade deadline. He is the new interim GM. Why? Well, the Dolphins made a decision today that they were fired their general manager Chris Greer. They mutually agreed to part ways, and he is no longer the general manager for the Miami Dolphins. So, yeah, you're talking about the Miami Dolphins that kicked our ass. They had enough players over there to kick our ass, but you know, well, he is no longer there. Like I said, this is interesting in its own right because um, Mike McDaniel, Mike McDaniel will remain the head coach for the remainder of the season. All right. So why is this significant? Why am I talking about this? Why am I putting these two together? Well, we already know that the Atlanta Falcons offense has been an absolute mess. It's been trash, to say the least. It's been god freaking awful. I've seen several people come out and say that Zach Robinson needs to be fired. Raheem needs to be fired while I'm raising my hand saying it. Raheem needs to be fired. And to be honest, I don't agree. And I don't give a shit if we agree, but I guess we should. Like, this is how I see it. Can the Atlanta Falcons offense get better? It can. Has it gotten better? No. Should I care about whether or not it's going to get worse? No. And yes. Yes, because we do have a first round pick that we traded away to the Rams. Interesting in that, all right. But we traded the pick to them. So we won't have a first round pick this year. So that's probably one of the reasons why I would lean towards keeping them. But at the same time, like Raheem and Zach have been so freaking terrible. So they won't shut up. They saying some of the dumbest things to try to look smart, but they end up looking dumb and dumber every time they talk. So I'm gonna say I don't care whether they stay or go. I don't care. But I'm gonna look real closely at this situation with Mike McDaniel because Mike McDaniel is reportedly on his way out in Miami. They're pretty much done. You got Tariq Hill. It's going. I don't think he'll be back next year. I honestly don't think he'll be back next year. If I were him, I would sit out all 26. If I were Tariq Hill, get healthy because they're going to release you. Get healthy. Get out of here. But I was asked several questions about Mike McDaniel and whether or not the Atlanta Falcons should take a look at him. And I say absolutely. Absolutely, they should. Why? One of the biggest issues with this Atlanta Falcons offense is not the running game. The biggest issue is with our wide receivers. Wide receivers are just bad. They're playing like absolute trash. Josh McDaniel. No, don't need that problem. But Mike McDaniel is a guy that's been here before. He's been here. He was under Kyle Shanahan tree. He's a guy that's known for his pass game, being the pass game coordinator, putting together a few plays. And I think if you look at right now, if I'm just going to go right now and how the Atlanta Falcons are constructed and how the Miami Dolphins is constructed, I think he's a perfect fit. Just right now. Just me looking at things right now on this basis. They have a left-handed quarterback. They run a lot of pistol and they run a lot out the gun. They run a lot of shotgun. He's been here before. And if he were to be fired at the end of the year, which I believe that he's going to be fired, it's a perfect fit. Mike McDaniel right now is a perfect fit. You look at his demeanor. A lot of people say he's a pushover. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm not gonna argue whether or not he's a pushover. But to be honest, I think anybody with the Atlanta Falcons, like Zach Robinson, are we convinced that Zach Robinson is a tough guy? Are we convinced that Raheem Morris is a tough guy? Absolutely not. These guys are folding under pressure right now. So whether or not this guy is meant for the Atlanta Falcons as far as his mentality is concerned, going against the media, the fans, I don't know. It's something to be concerned about, but like him as an offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, or if there was a situation that arises where Raheem Morris is fired as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, it's something that you really need to take in consideration because you got a young quarterback. I'm positive that Mike McDaniel knows how to develop a quarterback. I'm positive he knows how to use the running game and use a guy like Bijan Robinson. I mean, he got A-Chain down there, so it's like I'm positive he knows how to use talented running backs. So for me, I think it's a perfect fit as a possible head coach candidate, but leaning more towards an offensive coordinator. If the Falcons, for whatever reason, decide to keep Raheem Morris and allow Zach Robinson to leave. I think it's perfect. Now, one of the things that I'm going to keep a close eye on is what happens towards the end of the year. Like one of the main reasons why I think the Miami Dolphins are going to fire him is because when you look at general managers, you look at the general manager for each team. I mean, for any team, to be honest, like if you look at the general manager, when the general manager is gone, 9 times out of 10, they're looking at another candidate. 9 times out of 10, these guys are looking to rebuild their team. In my opinion, I think the Miami Dolphins are looking to rebuild that team. To fire the first person you get, they didn't fire the head coach first. They fired the general manager first. So that tells me that the Miami Dolphins is not happy with how not only that defense, because you look at the rumors even surrounding that. That these guys have quite a few people on the trading block. And this is Tom Pelissero, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Matthew Judon, Rasul Douglas. Obviously, Jalen Waddle is going to be there. And you got Tyreek Hill. Well, I think he's going to be fired. I think fired, but he's going to be cut. I think Tyreek Hill will be cut, obviously, because of that injury, but there's going to be a lot of changes. And I think, if anything, right now, the Miami Dolphins is just trying to sell everything. That's just my personal opinion. And to be honest, there have been some questions on whether or not the Atlanta Falcons are going to trade Ebiketie. Don't know what that is. That's going to be. To be honest, I don't have a clue what Raheem and those guys are doing anyway. My opinion about this. These guys not. I cannot take Jeff Ulbrich, Raheem. I can't take these guys seriously anymore. I just can't. I can't take a guy that sit with a straight face and look at Caillou, and looks at JD Bertrand and say he's the best guy that we got on this team right now at linebacker. I can't look at a Zach. I can't look at a Zach Harrison. Well, Zach Harrison, that boy been balling. Like, I can't look at Zach Robinson and then say to myself that when he says that, and if you guys have not seen the video that I was, this is really bothering me. He says with a straight face that a defense in Miami came with more simplistic strategies, aka schemes, than they were prepared for. That really, I don't like the football player in me, QB, wide receiver, cornerback in me. I cannot understand why you wasn't prepared for simple schemes. That bothers me. It makes me want to crash out, yo. When I hear a NFL coach say he wasn't prepared for simple schemes, it makes me want to punch somebody. I don't have any hope. I don't have any hope that these guys are going to get it. I don't. I'm going to say, like, you can sit up here and say that you believe in this team because you're a fan. I'm going to say to you, to your face, and I'm going to spit in your face when I say it. Okay? Look at that. Okay? I'm going to spit in your face, slobbering at the mouth, and say you are How can you look at Jeff Ulbrich the same when the whole Miami offense was designed to go at Caillou? How can you look at Zach Robinson the same when he got two of our best players on the sideline at the same time, and you throw the ball an out route to Drake London? Not a slant, not a dig route, an out route. How can you look at your head coach the same How can you look at your head coach the same when he says this is one of the most successful offenses we've had since 2016 when you can't even kick a damn field goal? We can't even score 10 points in the game, and you utter this shit out of your mouth? How can you get the same? And I'm saying this, I'm hiring Mike McDaniel as our head coach immediately. I feel better with Mike McDaniel as our head coach than Raheem Morris. Why? Because I know that Arthur Blank, Mr. Blank, wants to have an offense and he wants to pass the ball. And in order for us to get the best out of this franchise right now, we have to invest in number 9. And the best way to invest in number 9 is to get him someone that understands him and understands the passing game. And I don't see anybody right now, outside of Mike McDaniel, who understands that the running game has to be a part of the passing game. Play action must be used. Mike McDaniel is the perfect fit for the Atlanta Falcons. I hate to say it to y'all, but he's the perfect fit for what the Atlanta Falcons are right now. At the very moment that they said they are moving on for Mike McDaniel, they make it official that Mike McDaniel is done. The Atlanta Falcons and Arthur Blank needs to be on the phone talking to Mr. McDaniel's agent immediately. They already run the pistol. That's something that everybody on this roster offensively is used to right now because damn near 40-50% of our offense is out of the pistol. Is perfect. He doesn't have to do much. So I think Mike McDaniel is the perfect right now. He's the perfect candidate. If the Atlanta Falcons, I think the Atlanta Falcons, if you're going to look at anything, I think it's easier for the Atlanta Falcons to focus on offensive guy, an offensive minded guy versus a defensive guy. I think it's easier for us to do. And it's obvious that Mr. Blank wants to have that offense. Okay, I found this interesting also. And the Atlanta Falcons rushing, and this is Jesus Christ. So this was put out via the Atlanta Falcons offense off their website, where the Atlanta Falcons in on first down, like, look, this is the first time breakdown. In wins, the Atlanta Falcons are averaging 6.8. Okay, 6.8. Yards attempts. Yards are attempt 9.9. And wins and the success rate about 46, which is 13th in the league. So in wins, these guys are dominating in the run. And the losses, the rush yards ranking, they're 21. They're averaging 3.8 a rush in the losses. And they're down to about yards attempt, about 5 yards, about 5, which is 30th in the league. So they're not even, they're bad when they're bad. When they bad, they are bad. So all this tells me, when you look at, when you run the ball, all this tells me is when the Falcons run the ball, they are doing a wonderful job. When they focus on running and make the offensive line and the running game a huge part of what we're doing, when we focus on that, that's when we win. When we come out trying to throw the ball, pass the ball, and all that type of stuff, that's when we lose focus. So the Falcons had to do a better job of establishing the run. I'm not buying the fact that these guys are just not executing offensively. I'm not buying it. You can't tell me when we great, we legendary, and then when we bad, we legendary. We one of the most horrific running offenses in the league. That tells me something ain't right with this coaching. It ain't no damn middle ground when we don't run the ball. When we don't run the ball, we are bad. But when we run the ball, we are fucking incredible. Okay? There's absolutely no middle ground in this Falcons running offense. That tells me this is all play calling. This tells me this is all game planning. When there's absolutely no middle ground in the running game, that tells me there's no consistent focus with this running game. So again, in the losses, the Falcons rush them is about 3.8 in the losses. And then in the wins, we damn near 7 yards a carry. That's not, it is absolutely not. I know Jake Matthews is a great swell guy, but it makes me want to kick him in the nuts. Talking about it's just, it's as simple as executing. No, it's not. How can you be that good when you're good, and then when you bad, you incredibly bad? You at the bottom of the league bad. I don't know who these two dudes think they are, but they not fooling me, and they not fooling the fans anymore, and they sure as hell not fooling the media, because the media is on their ass. I will give 92.9 the game and 680. Y'all have been on their ass, and rightfully so. There's no reason why these guys should be this bad when they're bad. They're not, like I said, they're not even in the middle of the pack when they're not successful running the ball. They are terrible. Okay, let me say it again. When the Falcons are good running the ball, they are freaking great. When they bad, they are absolute terror. That right there, if you just focus on the running game in itself, it shows you how bad this coaching staff has been. And I'm not asking for those guys. My thing is, I've already heard it from Bijan. Bijan is a truth teller. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Bijan, but Bijan gonna be truthful. He said we weren't prepared, and he's been saying it all year. Players have been calling these guys out. It's not just been Bijan that has been said. Drake has said it. And I'm positive Ray Ray said something about it too. That's why his ass is gone and he's with the Giants right now. So when it all comes down to it, like I said, you can't be that bad and have that much of a discrepancy when you win versus lose. It's bad. So I'm looking at a few things. I will say this. This is interesting in its own right. Um, a guy, they got guys like Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick is actually on his his coaching staff. So no, a lot of people are asking me whether or not who he'll bring. Bobby Slowick is a guy that's on it as a senior passing game coordinator there. Um, I don't know if you guys remember Darrell Bevel. He's another one of those quarterbacks, pass game coordinators. He's actually there. He was with Minnesota from 2006 to 10, Seattle, Detroit. So he's been there. Um, mm, 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 mm. But I think Darrell Bevel is a guy you can keep an eye on. Bobby Slowick is a guy you can keep an eye on if the Atlanta Falcons choose to bring in or hire a Mike McDaniel. Should he get fired, I think he's one of those guys. Like I said, he does. Frank Smith, he goes back as far as coaching guys like Tariq Hill, Raheem Mostert, um, Terran Armstead. He's known for pretty much having some pretty good guys. So Frank Smith is a guy that definitely has that. So I think, you know, like I said, just looking at this, like I said, just right now, I think those one of the things that you want to kind of keep an eye on. Um, y'all can start throwing some questions in there if y'all got it on there. Um, I don't think so. I mean, the Vikings have been a team that's pretty level headed, but like I said, this is the NFL. Expectations rule everything right now. So I wouldn't put it past I wouldn't put it past Minnesota to fire him. All successful NFL coaches and coordinators have a competent game plan plus the ability to adjust to in game. And that right there, William Paul, like this is what these guys have shown absolutely no ability to adjust in game. And I'm not even saying the ability. They just don't want to adjust. They're not even trying. They running the same plays first quarter to fourth. They're not even trying. This is what, and like I said, I don't listen to the radio often, but this week just listening to a lot of the guys, everybody's saying the exact same thing. They're not even trying. The in-game adjustment has been absolutely gone. And the thing, and this is something that I like when I went to listen to these guys, and I've heard so many guys like Shannon Sharp, he put it out there. Chad Ochocinco, all these guys are saying the exact same thing. That these guys look like they ain't even practicing. That they going into the game and saying, hey, these are the plays that we're going to run no matter what. I don't care what happens. We're going to run it until it works. Everybody's saying the exact same thing. That these guys they not even trying to switch things up. They're running the same plays in different formations, the exact same plays in different formations. So when I start hearing this from everybody, and these guys don't necessarily get paid to watch or cover the Atlanta Falcons, it's bad. You can make Mike McDaniel as a head coach and let him bring Frank Smith and Bobby Slowick as his offense. And like I said, that's why I would do that. I would much rather continue to play hopscotch with defensive coordinators than offensive guys, because right now this Atlanta Falcons organization has let it be known that they want the identity of this team to be a passing and an offensive driven team. Now that does not mean that we can't build a good defense. Obviously we can. But I think the identity of the NFL and how you make money, yeah, it's obviously offensively. Like these guys have been called out for not even using play action. The Falcons have the worst, and I'm talking about worst attempts in play action in the league. Let's think about the Atlanta Falcons, who've been known for play action, been known for running the ball. We're not even doing that right now. And these guys want to sell, they want to sit up here and tell the media like they fucking stupid, that it's a matter of just execution. How is it a matter of execution when you're not running the ball? How is it a matter of execution when you're not even running play action? Nah, look, I don't believe in all that. I don't believe in all that betting, sports betting and all that. I don't believe that shit. I have to see evidence and all that. There ain't no evidence. No mob is getting into this. No, ain't no method. Like all those are theories, and I like for me, I start believing theories when I start seeing things. sucking ain't a good reason to say you been influenced by the mob. But we just fucking suck, okay? Do you think Ulbrich is gone if we do hire McDaniel? I don't think so. I think at some point you keep him back, but like I said, we don't know if another team is looking at him to be a head coach or possibly defensive coordinator. But right now, if that happens, we hire him as Mike McDaniel as the as the offensive guy and the head coach. Then you try to find a way to keep some stability on that defensive side of the ball. So you keep Ulbrich. And this is why I just lost all type of respect for this guy. He and Zach Robinson has just been pointing their fingers at the players. Your game plan sucks, bro. The play that you calling it doesn't make your the thing is when I hear quarterbacks saying the same thing that I'm saying in my head, it's a problem. Kurt Warner said, I just don't understand when I'm looking at these teams, these concepts don't make sense. The route concepts with the Falcons just don't make any sense. Everybody running curl routes, hook routes. Ain't nobody really running no damn slants, dig routes. It's curl routes and out routes. Don't make sense. You got guys who ain't fast running clear routes. Don't make sense. Calling a tight end screen on 4th and 7, and you got the audacity, Raymond, to talk about fucking execution. 4th and 7. Kyle Pitts is fast, but it takes him time to get up to speed. His acceleration isn't that of a Tyreek Hill. That's what separates these guys like Tyreek Hill. It takes him time to get up to speed. And you out here running a damn tight end screen to Kyle Pitts, bro. Well, the Kadarius Hodge is his lead blocker. Are you serious? And you got the nerve to sit up here and try to convince me this is a matter of execution? Man, if you don't sit down, man, and eat a fucking rock salad, okay, please eat the rock salad. Like I said, the only one that resembles a coach right now is Jeff Over. But that shit that he said about Caillou, JD Bertrand, tell me you guys are gonna run the same thing back? Yeah, you lost me, pimp. You lost me. You gonna run the same thing back? Yeah, you lost me, pimp. It just shows you that these guys are going to run what the fuck they want to run because they want to do it. They have no interest, none whatsoever interest in getting this done the correct way and make the necessary adjustment. They have no, because you can't tell me looking at that game, looking at JD Bertrand and say, yeah, he's the best option. Ain't no damn way. Because they're too busy running curl routes. That's why. The route concepts don't make sense. You can't throw a fade if you're not running fades. I mean, I wish I wish I had some elaborate schematic breakdown for you, but it's simple as this. These motherfuckers just ain't running it. You can't call fades and deep routes when you're not calling it. These guys not doing it. We're not giving Bijan the ball. We're not giving Drake the ball. We're not giving Kyle the ball. We're not giving Tyler Algier the ball. It's that simple. We're running tight end routes. We're running tight end screens. And what? It's first down and 10, and you run a damn a screen. It's second down and 10, and you running a tight end screen. It ain't that difficult, y'all. He's just not running it. It's the play selection and the concepts, the passing game concepts. It's that simple. All this execution bullshit is exactly that. Bullshit. And don't be fooled by this crap of bull. This crap. They're lying to you guys. This is not a matter of execution. You can't run, you can't ask for explosive plays when you're not calling explosive plays. The first time I seen the damn dig route was when Kirk Cousins, guys. He was the damn quarterback. That's the first time I done seen a dig route in almost 3 to 4 weeks. Probably longer than that. Kirk Cousins get in and you start, you now you want to throw the ball over the middle. Now you want to call plays over the middle. These guys just want to do what they want to do, and they do not give a rat's ass what Mad Mike and anybody else thinks. They don't care. This is strategic. Okay? Warren has been saying that all this is strategic, and I mean strategic. Sabotage. This is strategic sabotage. They're gonna run the same plays that they're gonna run, and they're gonna make everybody deal with it. They don't want to run play action. They don't want to run deep routes. They don't want to run dig routes. They don't want to run crossing routes and drag routes. They don't want to. This is not a matter of execution. Execution matters. Execution is only an issue when you actually run it. It can't be a matter of execution when you're not even fucking running it. They're not doing it. This route thing is an old problem. We've been talking about this for a while, which means nothing gets better. They don't want it. So, like I said, I wish I could look at the film and break it down. If you guys want me to break a few things, just follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. Trust me, I'll holler back. But you can't say, oh, I wish they do this. They not doing it. It's that simple. They don't care. Raheem don't care what you think. Zach Robinson don't care what you think. Now, in normal circumstances, Mike was like, yeah, I like a coach that don't give a shit. But the biggest problem is you can't be saying you don't give a shit when you look like shit. You look like complete horse shit out there talking about, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Well, you scoring 10 points a game. What the fuck you got to be proud about? Your tight end got 9 receptions. Let me say this again. Not your wide receiver, but your tight end is leading the whole damn team against Miami with 9 receptions. They don't have the greatest secondary at all. Yet somehow you play them, we still can't. You can shove that we don't have Drake London up your ass. Because there's no reason why we should be paying Mr. Darnell Mooney $16 million. But the motherfucker can't even catch the ball. He can't get open consistently. And I said consistently. Because it looked like every time I see him, he's getting shoved back on the line of scrimmage because people are bumping him. Oh, I've been paying attention to it. $16 million for a guy that can't get off the line of scrimmage. And I'm telling you right now, John, they trying to find every reason. This dude is trying to find every reason, every way to make sure that Kirk Cousins, starts. If this man got a knot on his forehead, I'm guarantee you Michael Penix is going to be sitting on the bench. I don't trust this dude. Like I said, I see quarterbacks out there with rib protectors, broken ribs, swollen ankles, all this, and you telling me that a bone bruise for a quarterback is just going it's just going it's the worst thing possible that he can't play? Come on, bro. You can shove that shit right up your candy behind. I ain't buying it. And the media is not buying it. I'm not buying it. And like I said, that's really just for me. Ain't nothing these dudes can do for me to change my mind. Nothing these guys can do to restore any faith in me. Nope. There's nothing that this dude can do to restore faith in him. They don't care. They're conducting a social experiment with our team in the middle of a season. You got Kirk Cousins on the sideline with a temper tantrum, and Mike Penix sitting next to him like he's just staring in space. Like, yeah, this Kirk. For what I saw, for what Mike was saying, when Kirk was just standing there giving Zach Robinson the business, like, shit, I guess I wasn't tripping. This shit is some bullshit. Funny, it's like I said, it's simple as that. Like I said, this is my take on it. You guys, if you enjoyed this, man, if you enjoyed this show, hit that subscribe button. Continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports. Like I said, there ain't nothing these dudes can do. Unless these guys go on like a 10-game winning streak and get to the Super Bowl, I'm done with them. 9-8, 10-7, that shit ain't good enough for me. Raheem can shove that playbook up his candy ass and take his ass back to Jersey. Take your ass back to LA. Take your ass back to Tampa. I don't give a damn. And Zach can take his ass to Oklahoma. I don't care. They're playing people like they stupid, like we don't know football, like the media don't know football, like everybody else not seeing this absolute trash. These guys don't look like they practice during the week. Guys don't even know the damn plays. Like, how the hell you don't know the play? And this ain't the first time there's been an issue. Y'all said this bullshit that the plays weren't getting in because Zach Robinson was up in the booth. Now he on the field and niggas still don't know what the fuck the plays is. Let me say this again. Y'all said that the problem with the Atlanta Falcons offense while we was getting plays in and guys didn't, it was miscommunication. You said because he was up in the booth. Now he's on the ground. Now he's on the field, and you still have the exact same play. Players still don't know the plays. Now you got to sit up here and throw little plastic card. You got to put these symbols on cards and stuff like you in college. Like, bro, get out of here. Y'all have done everything, and it still ain't. You look. Y'all have done quote unquote everything and done nothing. It's nothing. You fired a wide receiver coach. Still didn't work. Got rid of Ray McLeod, and still nothing. There's nothing these dudes can do to win me back. I ain't happening. So, like I said, man, hit that subscribe button. Continue to support your boy here, man, Mike Sports. I got more videos coming for you. Also, head over to Mr. Tactician 78 for tonight's show. We got some stuff coming for you. And that right there is the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. But some got to change. Some got to change. Either win or shut up. Change or shut up. But right now, it ain't working. That's all I got. I'm out of here, man. Peace.